To continue with our program, I'd now like to welcome our next guest of honour. Please welcome the Honourable Reverend Fred Nile, Member of the Legislative Council, and President of the Legislative Council.
God bless Egypt, and God bless the revolution. I was here, as Peter Tadros said, the revolution probably started here at Martin Place, and I was pleased to have the opportunity to actually go to Egypt and to visit Cairo with my fiancée Savannah Nero, so we could encourage the Christians and the moderate Muslims and the secularists who were standing up against President Morsi and calling for his removal. And we saw the protest, we attended the protest in the square with the Egyptian people. And we were probably the only Westerners there. And they were so encouraged to see us and gave us an Egyptian flag to wave and carry and support their protest. It was a revolution by the people. They gave it that name. The actual activity was called revolution. That was the name they gave to it. And as Peter said, it involved over 33 million Egyptians supported the revolution right across Egypt. 6 million attended the protest, and you see the photographs packing the centre of Cairo. Hundreds of thousands, 6 million Egyptians saying no to the Muslim Brotherhood. We saw them there. We saw the Muslim women sharing in the protest against the Muslim Brotherhood, seeing it as a fanatical and as it's now become a terrorist organisation, taking out terrorist acts against innocent people. We were there, and I was amazed as I watched CNN and the BBC misreporting what was happening in Cairo, which I was watching. I was actually there watching what was happening in Cairo. Then I turned on the TV and see them telling exactly the opposite of what was happening in Cairo. They act like savages, not like human beings. As Peter Tadros said, they've turned their anger on the Coptic Christians. They're blaming the Christians for the revolution, but it was a cross-representation of all the Egyptian people wanted this change, not just the Coptic Christians. But the Muslim Brotherhood have now decided to attack and to murder the Coptic Christians more than they have done in the past. There's always been attacks on Coptic Christians, and we know that, and even on the Cathedral of St. Mark's. I was pleased while I was there with my fiancée to attend St. Mark's Cathedral morning service and to share the priests in the cathedral. They even had to build a barricade in the cathedral. Across the front row, a very high wall had been built, so nobody could come into the cathedral and then try to attack the bishops and the clergy conducting services. And I understand usually that service is packed with thousands of Coptic Christians. When I was there, there were probably only been 200 Coptic Christians because of the fear that may have been attacked on the cathedral. So we need to pray for our brothers and sisters in Egypt and give them support. We need to give support to the Egyptian army as they try to combat the terrorism of the Muslim Brotherhood. We need to give them our support and our prayers so they can bring peace and security for all citizens of Egypt, and that the interim government, which includes, I understand, the Grand Mufti of Egypt, the Coptic Pope, and other Christian leaders and Muslim leaders, the interim government. And that government is now planning to correct the constitution, which has been changed by Morsi. He acted like a dictator. And they said he gave himself the same powers as Pharaoh. He became the new Pharaoh of Egypt with all the power in his hands. And so there had to be a change. An interim government now is going to improve the constitution, make it democratic, and then they will have an election, and all the people of Egypt will have the opportunity of voting for a new government and a new president. And we pray that that will be leaders who will give peace and security to Egypt, with no more violence. But I do believe the Muslim Brotherhood has showed the ugly face of their organisation, and they should be declared a terrorist organisation. They should be declared a terrorist organisation. They don't act like a peaceful movement whatsoever, and therefore they now have to wear that badge of shame, terrorist organisation. God bless you, God bless Egypt.
Thank you, Honourable Reverend Fred Nile. Thank you. I would now like to welcome the Honourable David Clark, Member of the Legislative Council, and very appropriately, the Parliamentary Secretary for Justice, which is why we're all here today. Please make welcome the Honourable David Clark.
Well, thank you, and it's a great honour to be here today in solidarity with the Coptic Christians of Egypt and in fight for freedom against the Muslim Brotherhood. Today in Egypt, millions of Coptic Christians and others are living in fear for their lives. In recent days, 100 Coptic church buildings have been destroyed. Churches, orphanages, monasteries, Christian homes and businesses have been burnt to the ground. Coptic nuns have been kidnapped and paraded through the streets like trophies. Coptic Christians, shame indeed. Shame on the Muslim Brotherhood. In Egypt today, there is a jihad of violence against Coptic Christians. There is a jihad of murder against the Coptic Christians. And where does this jihad come from? It comes from the Islamists, and it comes from the Salafists, and it comes from the Muslim Brotherhood, and it comes from the followers of Muhammad Morsi. That's where it's coming from.
Egypt now free! Egypt now free! Let the media see! Let the media see! Egypt now free! Egypt now free! Hand off Obama! 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 Hand off Obama!
2 years ago, the people of Egypt in their millions took to the streets, Muslims and Christians. They took to the streets for democracy and for freedom and for tolerance. They overthrew the old regime, but a worse regime came to power. The regime of the Muslim Brotherhood and the Salafists and Morsi. They took their place. And they came because they promised freedom and democracy, but they lied to the Egyptian people. They misled the Egyptian people. But the Egyptian people are no longer misled. That is why Morsi is gone. Morsi sold out Egypt. Morsi lied because he promised an inclusive government, but instead he purged the judiciary and the army and the government by bringing to power people like the leader of that terrorist organisation that killed those tourists in 1998 in Luxor. He made that man the new governor of Luxor. Can you believe such an evil thing to be done? He said there would be a new constitution drawn up by a broad spectrum of people. But he isolated everybody except the Muslim Brotherhood. He said it would be a democratic constitution, but what it does is enshrine even more so Sharia law. He said there'd be equality for women, but their rights have been taken away even more than they were before. He said there'd be a better deal for the Copts, but they have been squeezed even more and more as the days go by. He in fact made the constitution of the Muslim Brotherhood the constitution of Egypt. That's what Morsi did those months ago. And that's why 20 million, in shame indeed, that's why 20 million Egyptians took to the street calling for the overthrow of Morsi. That's why 20 million people signed petitions against Morsi. That's why General El-Sisi overthrew Morsi in the name of the people. In the name of the people. God bless General Sisi for wanting. General Sisi, but Al Jazeera television lies. The coup was by Mohammed Morsi because he betrayed with false promises the people of Egypt. Al Jazeera says that the Muslim Brotherhood demonstrations are peaceful, but Al Jazeera television lies again. The Muslim Brotherhood has tried to close down all of Egypt. It's tried to create chaos. It has murdered young army conscripts, as they did the other day, those 25 young conscripts going home for their holidays, like they did a few days ago with those 14 police. 10% of all the official killings, murders in Egypt over these past few weeks have been of police, When I see Al Jazeera and Al Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood and all the Islamists and the Salafists attacking General Sisi, I praise General Sisi. I say thank God for General Al Sisi and the army and the police. Today we ask the government of Australia and all governments to support the people of Egypt. Today we pray for the people of Egypt in resisting the Muslim Brotherhood. Today we pray for the victory of the people of Egypt over the Muslim Brotherhood. Today we pray that God will protect General Sisi in what he is doing for Egypt's government. Today we pray that God will bring defeat and devastation to the Muslim Brotherhood, the Salafists and the Islamists and all of those who seek to destroy the democracy of Egypt. Today we pray that people represented by the Muslim Brotherhood and the Salafists will never, ever, ever gain a foothold in this country. The final days of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt are coming to an end. That day is getting closer. That day is coming closer. That day will soon be here. Thank you.